I'm a first-gen American, and I have truly, genuinely not only believed in the American dream, but I've been able to successfully make it my reality. My goal is to be able to replicate that for more than one person, to be able to give back to the community, to the country that gave me so much.
Hey, Channel Insiders. Welcome back to Channel Insider Partner POV. I'm Katie Bavoso, and today I'm interviewing Tanaz Choudhury, CEO and President of TanChes Global Management, a Houston, Texas-based IT services provider. Tanaz is fresh off the success of a decade-long effort to invest in the next generation of IT business professionals. TanChes has officially partnered with local education entities to create an apprenticeship program. As you'll hear, this is exactly the kind of legacy and American dream Tanaz has always chased. I'd now like to welcome arguably the most stylish woman in the channel, Tanaz Choudhury, CEO and President of TanChes Global Management Group. Welcome.
Thank you, Katie.
First of all, the biggest news that you've had this week, you teamed up with the Houston Community College and the Gulf Coast Region Apprenticeship Hub to create a workforce pipeline, meaning you're getting young people into jobs. I know this has been such a passion project for you, going on a decade now, Tanaz, and you also have called it your legacy. Tell me what this is and what this means to you and where you saw the need in the Houston community.
So thank you for asking me about that. Yes, still coming off a very strong high from Friday when we signed the MOU, but this is definitely a passion project. The goal is to create a workforce-ready pipeline, right? To create an environment that is a financially sustainable ecosystem within our community. The goal is to create workforce-ready applicants, not just for TanChes, but for the entire tech community out there. By doing this, what we're doing is we're invoking a little bit of the education institution background and certification and taking that, melding that with the real world experience, which we know is so required, especially in the tech industry. I'm sure in most other industries too. But the goal is to take that, meld them together and create, a pipeline of individuals that are able to now take this experience and go out there in the real world, either stay with the organizations or companies that are giving them the opportunity to be an apprentice, or to move into the real world with other organizations and thereby be workforce ready. And we're going to hear a lot about being workforce ready, workforce development, the ready pipeline for most organizations and most communities coming out of this. I'm not going to say shortage of skilled workers, but necessity of skilled workers.
100%. Now, we've been talking about this on and off for the last few weeks. I know that it's been something that's been on your mind lately, but like I mentioned earlier, it's been a passion of yours for going on a decade. And as you'll say, it's been a passion for nearly 30 years since you got started in the industry. It's important for you to give back and to bring up the next person in line. Can you just kind of walk me through how this project got started and what it truly means to you on a personal level to have this be live? It's happening right now before our eyes.
Absolutely, Katie. So for those that don't know me, I'm a first-gen American, and I have truly, genuinely not only believed in the American dream, but I've been able to successfully make it my reality. My goal is to be able to replicate that for more than one person, to be able to give back to the community, to the country that gave me so much. This idea started, like you said, rightly so, when I first came to this country just over 30 years ago. The goal is, how do you take this and create more champions, more success stories that can then in turn go out there and do the same again for others that are coming behind them. And that's how you create a legacy. A legacy is created by what you are able to pass on that is replicable over and over and changes a person's not only standard of living, but standard of giving. And when I say standard of giving, it's not the monetization aspect of it. It's giving of themselves. It's giving of the ideas. It's giving of that service, that servant leadership thought process, right? It's giving that back to the community. And yes, monetization doesn't hurt either. But again, it's a full circle. It's not one or the other, it's all of the above. So, more of a generalist thought process in that term. And when we formed TanChes and registered at the great state of Texas 26 years ago, we made a commitment, Chesley and I, to ourselves and to the organization, saying we're only going to hire US based workers. And the reason for that was because we genuinely felt like we needed to impact the community that we were in. We needed to make the local impact, which would then turn into a state impact, would turn into a national impact. Because if each one works around their home, their community, I think the whole world is going to benefit from that idea, from that thought process. And the impact is that much greater and so visible when you are close to home. So for us, it was all of these thoughts that came together and became a statute for us, which we said we were going to insource. There wasn't going to be outsourcing. So when the whole world thinks it's counterintuitive, the fact that we are immigrants and outsourcing does yield advantages for the employers, we actually chose otherwise. We chose to pay more. We chose to give time off. We chose to work and contribute towards the 401ks. We chose to create impact in our community, not just in our home.
So for you, knowing that you're going to be seeing students who are coming forward and getting that opportunity to get into the working world and put one foot forward, what would this look like? Like, I know we have just gotten started. The ink is still drying. So could you tell me in a perfect world what this process looks like for these graduates from HCC?
Absolutely. So what's happening is we have already absorbed a couple of them. So the pipeline started for us on Friday. And the way we're looking at it is we're absorbing them on two sides of the business. One is the business administrative side, which is running the technology business, understanding business as a whole, and understanding the administrative aspect, the support aspect that goes into an admin position. On the other end of the spectrum is obviously the pure tech, understanding what is the requirement of being a technician, what is the requirement of being in technology, what is the requirement of being and understanding the landscape, not just keywords like cybersecurity, and we're going to be in infrastructure, and we're going to be in X, Y, and Z, but understanding what that truly means, because in technology, everything connects. If you're going to be in cybersecurity and you ask a graduate, what are you going to protect if you don't know how many doors and windows there are? If you don't understand the infrastructure, the layout, the foundation of an organization structure, then how can you implement cybersecurity if you don't understand the structure, the layout, the foundation, the process? So it's very important for us to train people in the real world experience for that. These students come out with degrees, they know how to learn. So we're here to teach them. And then they learn what we want them to learn so that they can go out there and then build on themselves and their certifications.
Which I think is so exciting. As a former young person myself who started their career and had to learn everything on the go, I can tell you this kind of leg up to be accepted, to know that they're going to make mistakes and they're going to learn as they go to get that foundation for their careers is going to be so valuable. So I absolutely applaud you in your effort in getting this going. But I do want to make sure that I back up and introduce you to those who haven't met you before, Tanaz. Obviously, TanChes, you mentioned Chesley earlier. Chesley Choudhury is your business partner and husband. So TanChes,
Yes.
you get it, people? Yeah, we understand now. Would you mind telling us who you are, what you do, and what you specialize in over at TanChes?
Absolutely. So TanChes, as you know, is a culmination of Tanaz and Chesley. The company name is TanChes Global Management. And that came about because the company was formed when we were 15 and a half years old on the steps of Bombay University at one of the colleges. And when you're 15 and a half, of course you can rule the world. That's where the global management comes from. Having said that, we've done fairly well as a Texas corporation. So we've been incorporated in the state of Texas as a full service technology company since 1998. TanChes actually is involved in all aspects of technology, including hardware, software, and services. We're very impactful in our own little way because we not only service the private sector, but also the public sector. So very, very proud of that kind of lineage that we've created. TanChes is more of an infrastructure and a BCDR company, which is Business Continuity Disaster Recovery. Being in the Gulf region, I think every company should have a BCDR plan. And I would love to assist you through it if you don't have somebody doing that already. But I feel like technology is just the delivery mechanism, right? At heart, everyone at TanChes is actually a resolution first person. So we come in with a resolution first, we can do it, we can make it happen kind of thought process. And those are the right people that are part of my team that have helped us catapult from just Chesley and myself starting this back in 1998 to where we are today in 2024. Very, very proud of all the teams and all the members that have come and gone through TanChes, and especially those that are here today.
Very much so. And I want to dig a little deeper into some of the services that you talk about. You mentioned the backup, business continuity, and disaster recovery, which you're right. Everybody needs to have a plan for that. And if we don't, you're already late. You got to get on top of that. Just a note. So you mentioned the public and private sector. Can you speak to some of the verticals that your clients typically touch?
Absolutely. The beautiful part about this country is it offers us the opportunity if we are ready to put in the work. So in the public sector, we're very proud to say that almost about 15, 16 years ago, we started in the public sector. And private sector is where we started. That was our DNA. But public sector is where we grew and really kind of got out of that bottleneck of being an SMB catering to SMB. So we're still an SMB, but we're catering to the public sector. We're a part of multiple cities, multiple police departments, multiple education institutions, K through 12, as well as higher ed. And very, very proud to say that we're able to service those accounts and those departments with the same agility we have in our private sector accounts. So having said that, we serve a lot of communities, a lot of kind of agencies, and that public sector is where we can show true impact. Many of our disaster recovery solutions, business continuity solutions have been used, and they're white papers for those that are interested in the public sector for us to kind of share with them. We also have the aptitude and really, really feel blessed, really feel grateful to have grown this business with 100% referral only status, right? We've had very little, if any, sales or marketing effort over the last 26 years.
So moving on from there and thinking more about your passions and where you want to see the industry going, where you want to see its workforce going, and the investments related to both. You've told me when we've met before that there's a lot happening in tech that people aren't focused on. I'd love for you to kind of expand on that thought and talk to me about how you're working to be a disruptor of that status quo.
Yes. So we're already kind of disrupting our traditional form of apprenticeship by doing the real world experiences, by using the students for the projects within those higher ed kind of institutions. So the beauty about our relationship, and for example, is with HCC, we're going to be able to use the HCC technology students for the HCC technology projects, which we've gone out there and busted and earned, right? So the goal is, how do we create self-sustaining ecosystems? And two is, how do we create champions within the field, right? By creating champions, you're going to disrupt any atmosphere to positively impact the next level of services, the next level of products coming out there. The way we are doing it is we're investing in the next gen technologies for us, and outside the box thinking is, yes, you want your environment safe. Yes, you want your cybersecurity stuck in place. Yes, you want your printers to run when it's payday. You want your staff to come in and not have any downtime. But there's another part of it, right? Again, it all comes back to the word. For some reason, today's buzzword for this interview is going to be community for me. And it keeps coming back to that because that has become the root of thought today. And when we want to impact community with technology, yes, we're doing the apprenticeship, and that's one part on financial and fiscal responsibility and giving back. On the other end of it, you take public services like the police departments or the fire departments, creating AR, VR solutions for them where they can have training that's not going to directly impact their health or well being is very important. It also gives them leverage on understanding or an upper edge when it comes to tackling community issues that they volunteered or chosen as a career path to service, right? So it's understanding that it's going in K through 12 and then proposing, new methods of learning through esports, through creative learning, right? By leveraging technology again. So that's a disruptor in that field. Catch them young and watch them grow, right? Giving them that STEM influence without the word STEM is a little more exciting for these kids, because if they're playing games and learning things through that mode of understanding, we're already disrupting the current status quo education. You have to write on a double-lined book situation. So it's just taking technology and using it creatively outside the box to create impact that's very much, again, felt throughout the community.
I joked in all seriousness, though, about you being one of the most stylish women I've ever met in this industry or any. And you mentioned that you're not only helping to create a pipeline for students, but you've begun getting a closet together to create business casual outfits for those who are trying to get out there into the workforce, who are going on interviews where they need a suit, where they're going to their first day of the job and they need to dress up. Can you tell me about how close to your heart that sits?
When I came to the United States, I came as a first-gen American with very little money. I did come with a whole suitcase full of certifications and education, and that was my backbone that drove me here. But money was very sparse, and I had to kind of budget where things went. So it's very close to my heart, the thought process of that, because I come from a background that I'd never really had to think about that till I came here. Having said that, I don't want to stop thinking about that, because when we approached the whole apprenticeship conversation and got into this relationship with HCC, we realized that there were some students that were unable to show up for the interviews because we had mentioned business casual. So the next time we have a business casual environment, you might want to think about this, because we realized that some of the students didn't make it to the interviews because they were simply embarrassed to not have the right attire to show up for the interview. And it broke my heart when I learned of that. And I wanted to make a difference. We started something that's called a TanChes Community Closet. And we were able to donate, different sizes of pants and office shirts. And a lot of women have organizations like Dress for Success and things like that. But we didn't realize that there weren't that many resources for the young men coming out of these institutions for this particular need. So we wanted to start something there. So we started with a small wardrobe of different sizes and pants, shirts, suit jackets, a few ties, socks, belts, just anything that would allow them to feel more confident in their ability to show up and talk at a different level for the interviews that they were getting ready to speak for. Fashion is important to me because it allows me to show respect to the people I'm with and where I'm at. And to me, I think it's just so important, right? Red lipstick is my war paint. It allows me to dress up and show up, even on days that I may be less than eager to get out of bed, right? But it's my form of encouragement to me. It tells me that I am ready for the day. It's important for me to dress up when I go to conference or when I'm meeting someone, because it's giving them the respect that I was able to dress up for you. This is me respecting you in the non-verbal way that I could do best, right? This is me showing up with respect for what you do, who you are, and the fact that you and I are having this conversation or meeting is important.
If we'd like to get involved, whether it be with everything you're working on for the education and the students coming in as apprentices, or if we'd like to reach out and find out more about your services, where can we go and how can we get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So like everybody else in technology, you can go to our website, send us a note there, or if you really do need to reach us, you can reach us at 281 TanChes. That's 281-826-2437.
Tanaz, thank you so much for your time today. It's been such a pleasure getting to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Tanaz for joining me today, and thanks to you for watching or listening. Check out all episodes of Channel Insider Partner POV on channelinsider.com or watch on youtube.com/channelinsider_news and trends. You can also check us out as a podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow to never miss an episode. Once again, I'm Katie Bavoso, and I'll see you next time.